What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is another edition of Gentlemen's Talk. I am happy your co-host DJ Micah B. I got the one and only Troy in the building with me today, co-hosting. What's good, Troy?
What's up, fellas, man? Look at this. I'm back over here. This time I'm on the other side. I still want to redo on mine because I don't think it was fair, but we're going to get to that another time. It's not my day. It's GQ day.
And, of course, y'all know I got the greatest co-host in the world with me. GQ, what's going on?
What's good? What's good? What's good? It's another beautiful Wednesday, aka Hump Day, aka get it in where you fit it in.
Hey, if you can't fit, don't get it in.
All right, man. We on this from the Sideline Chronicles. We are back, and this time in the hot seat, we got the one and only Mr.GQ himself, the other half of Gentlemen's Talk co-host. You ready to get it in?
It's gonna be the only hot seat y'all ever catch me in.
Hey, we don't know about that. Might make you sit in a chair that's actually on fire. Who knows? we might just need one more viewer, one more subscriber for 1 million, and be like, all right, you do it. GQ sit in a chair on fire. You really be in a hot seat.
No,
not gonna happen.
Like keep keep my ass the way it is. Not listen, my ass is not getting charred behind this shit.
1 million, we can stay at 99999.
What's good?
All right, man. So let's get this thing started. My man, you know, I know so much about you. You know so much about me. So this is going to be a very interesting interview for the people at home. And of course,
that's putting it lightly.
So let's get this thing started. Tell us about your upbringing.
All right. So I mean, my upbringing is pretty simple. You know what I'm saying? I was from a small town country boy all the way up in Kansas in the middle of nowhere. Biggest claim to fame I got from where I was at is that I was in the same city where Wizard of Oz was shot. Dorothy's house is actually still in that city. It was about 18 minutes away from my house, and it involved me going in spirits. And the scariest moment of my life is when I went to my first wax museum, which was also the Wizard of Oz, and that shit scared the ever living shit out of me because I ain't never seen a wax museum before. Everything looked way too fucking real for me. So that all kind of happens. I end up in the early 90s, start making trips from here, from Kansas down to here to Texas. And eventually in 1994, I officially moved down to Texas and became Kansas born and Texas raised.
Third Coast boys, that mean we Texas raised. I'm
going to sneak in here real quick. What was your favorite holiday growing up?
My favorite holiday growing up? You know, 4th of July always been a holiday for me. It's always 4th of July.
The military
as a kid, it was an excuse. It was an excuse to act an ass because there's number fireworks shit going on. So it just made sense. It was like a free day to be a bad kid, you know, growing up. Hindsight being 2020, you know, now given the situation, I mean, I just call it America Day now. So
America.
All right. So growing up, what was your favorite sports?
So I grew up a basketball guy. Like when I came to Texas, I had no clue what the hell football was. Like I had never seen it, never played it, nothing. Like nothing whatsoever. I didn't start playing football till I was a 6th grader. So like I discovered that Texas is football country. Did not know that until I got here. Like nobody gives a shit about basketball. They do, but not near as they do as football. Because I was that kid. I had a simple dream. I wanted to be a point guard for the Kansas Jayhawks. Still a Jayhawks fan to this day. Like them my boys, that's my squad. Bill Self is my coach. Like everything KU, I was like, I'm gonna be a point guard for them one day. Until you realize how difficult it is to make it even to college in the first place. And I'm like, yeah, all right. But definitely basketball is a first love of mine. It'll always be there. But then track and field literally owns my life. Like track is where I figured out that's where I excel in the absolute best.
I ran track too.
Oh yeah, were you fast?
Until you want to know fast? I was just telling one of my friends the story. Story time. Story time. I was out in New York Christmas with my best friend at his mom's house, and he had got a Wii, and I believe he needed batteries. So we ran down to the corner store, and we decided to race each other back. But we didn't know his sister was in the window watching us. So we just booking it back, and all we hear is, "I can see the top half of you, not your legs." That's all we heard. She couldn't see our legs. That's how fast she was running. Yeah, I'm a fast boy. Couldn't catch me. All right, if I got going, you wasn't catching me. That's why I never ran jog. You know how people work out outside? I only got one speed. I can't work out. I'll be done by the time I get down the block. But until I pulled my grind muscle, my grind muscle, that ended my track and field for me.
Tough. So you talked about you're a track and field guy. I know you to play basketball, football, and track. What went into the process of deciding that you were going to drop basketball and football and just stick to track?
So that was actually a very easy decision. So because I played a lot of basketball, I played all the way up through my sophomore year of high school. And then football, I played my freshman year, and I started with it during my sophomore, and then I stopped playing because I really couldn't get down with all the favoritism and all of the politics that go on with football. Like I've never been a fan of the favoritism thing. That's probably what pushed me into the realm of becoming a coach as well. But basketball, I still had the athleticism, the passion. I played point guard in middle school. All of a sudden, I come to high school, they got me playing small forward because I had a hell of a vertical and I can jump. I can jump. You've seen it. You know what I'm talking about. So, but still, I was only 5'9", but my vertical was out this world. So they always had me guarding these damn 6'2", 6'3" motherfuckers all the time because you don't have short small forwards, like they just don't exist. But the more and more I kept running track and I got that much better, I knew eventually I'd have to taper it down because in 8th grade we had the district track meet and 3 of us, me, Jeremy McNeil, and Michael Mahan, all cleared 6 foot at the district track meet in 8th grade at Lee High School where the district track meet was. And Coach Southall was there that day and he was like, "What school you going to?" And I told him where I was going. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna be your track coach next year." I said, "Oh shit, I'm already chosen." Well, I wasn't chosen for football, not for basketball. I was like, track. All right. He's like, he already knew what it was. I was like, all right. So my sophomore year is when I decided I was done with everything else except track. Like I became full-fledged track choir. That was it. It was track choir. I got in the FFA, got in the Spanish club, the usual high school shit that we all get into so we ain't got to go home.
Was it a person that you disliked in track?
No.
Like on your team? No?
Mm-mm. I became the only underclassman to ever be the captain of the track team in my high school for a while. Mm-hmm. But no, I never really had a hatred for people. Like not
hatred. Like, I say hate. That's I said dislike.
I didn't dislike anybody on my own team. Like I had a lot of dislikes from other schools that I definitely wasn't a big fan of. But
so did you have a rival, like a track rival?
I 100% did. I 100% did.
Or her name?
Oh, his name was Will.
Trying to be gender neutral.
Nah, his name is Will. He went to Kingwood High School. And if you know anything about this area, Kingwood is where Nick Wise went for you college basketball folks. So that's where this kid came from, Will. We had been competing against each other in the high jump all 4 years. And he beat me in district my freshman year, my sophomore year. We both got beat my junior year, and in my senior year, I finally beat him when it mattered most. It came down to me, him, and what was that dude name? Darnell from North Shore. And we had gotten all the way up to 6'6", and we had a tie. So when you have a tie in the high jump, you have to go into a jump off, which means you now have to go to the last height that everybody cleared. And from there, it gets raised up by an inch. And this is how I ended up breaking and making a PR of clearing 6'8" on the high jump to advance to the regional track meet.
Okay.
Damn, 6'8".
Look, to this day, I still don't know how the fuck I got over that bar. I'm still the same height. I'm
still
adrenaline. I'm still 5'9", and my legs were exhausted as fuck.
A will and adrenaline. You didn't want to lose that day.
No, I was tired of losing to that motherfucker. It was just a skinny ass white boy.
That's what I said.
That's the will, bro. Hey, that's the will to win, bro. That's the will to win.
That was Troy cares about the will to win when it comes to sports. All right, if you got the will to win, you're gonna win. And he had the will to win right there. He won. Some people just don't got the will to win, man. I didn't have the will to win because I ran one track meet, but before I could run my second one, I pulled my muscle. I did one, and my gym coach was like, "All right, I want you to take a practice run so you know the course." But after the practice run, where they said, "Hey, everybody get to the starting line," was on top of a hill. We didn't practice that. We didn't practice running down a hill. By the time I got to the bottom, I was so gassed, I walked. I walked. I was so tired. People passing me. Come on. I'm like, nope. Fuck y'all. Nope. I'm good. The hill killed me. And then I'll run a little bit and I start walking again. But I finished, I think in I was like in 120 or something at 170 people. So I didn't finish bad. Not for walking. Not for walking. Not for walking. So my teacher was mad. But what was one of your happiest childhood moments?
My happiest childhood moments. That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Had quite a few of those.
I got them today.
He said, "I got him
I think
today."
probably one of the happier moments I have is we had this I was I was 9 going on 10. It was Christmas time, and we went like all the way through like October and November and like early December, and there was like nothing underneath the Christmas tree, like nothing at all. And I knew because of my situation, I knew, my mom was working multiple jobs, trying to, make ends meet, the norm, saying nothing that we don't
Mm-hmm.
already know about. And one day, this random guy knocks on the door. I have no idea who this guy is, so of course I'm at home. I was like, I say, stranger danger, I'm not answering the phone or the door. Excuse me. So my mom went and answered the phone. I mean, answered the door, and she's seen this dude, and he pulls up. He has a trash bag in his hand. I'm like, all right, this is kind of sketchy, but she would let us see what was in the trash bag. So she made us all go to our rooms and shit. So the next day, now December 23rd specifically, the tree was full of nothing but gifts. And so
Mm-hmm.
what I found out later on was that this guy was just being a good Samaritan, if you will. Like he was going around to people he knew that, was having a hard time making ends meet, and
Yeah.
literally just dropped off a care package worth of gifts. So this was the year like I was big into like die cast cars and shit, like the model cars and shit you build. So
Yeah.
I got an old school 1990s Coca-Cola truck.
That's not
Bright red, had the Coca-Cola label on it, like looked like the old school tankers, but it was, saying Coca-Cola. I thought that was like the coolest fucking toy I'd ever seen. Like I was like, this is fun. I didn't want to open. I didn't want to take it out of the box. It was so dope. But I was like, but I want to touch it because it just looked so cool. It was shiny,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, fuck. And then I got another vehicle, which was a 1953 Bel Air Bomb, which to this day is still my favorite antique car, old school mobster car. It's black, it's white, cream seats. Still one of my all-time favorite antique cars. Like I love that car. If I could ever find that car when I retire, I'm buying that bitch on site. Like that is a fantastic antique vehicle. But that was definitely a highlight because growing up the way I grew up, you were just happy that you could eat at the end of the day. Realistically, like let's keep it a buck. Like anytime we got something, I knew my mom did something to go out there and grind and hustle and get it done. Like, I was fortunate. We ended up getting lucky. We ended up getting a Super Nintendo when I was young because she got it from a garage sale. Somebody was selling it for $40. Mama had $40. We had a Super Nintendo. Now me and my sister playing, Street Fighter, Turbo 2, all the usual shit. Had a Nintendo 64. That's back when Game Crazy was a thing, not GameStop. Game Crazy. And I'm gonna date myself a little bit.
Funko Land.
Got a used Nintendo 64 for about $90. And that's when we started playing Smash Bros. And Pokemon Stadium and Fighting Force and Killer Instinct and all these other games and shit. And it was like, so I've been fortunate.
What's your favorite fighting game?
Favorite fighting game? Mortal Kombat.
I could have answered that one for you.
Definitely Mortal Kombat.
You ever played DOA?
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Love DOA.
I like it. I like it. It ain't bad. It's just the fighting style on that game is like bizarre to me because you can win a match in 6 hits, and I'm like, there's like no strategy involved in that game. You get the right character, and I hit you 6 times, your ass is done. I'm like, at least with Mortal Kombat, there's a little bit more strategy, and you can't.
Yeah, I like Mortal Kombat.
You can button mash if you want to, but then once Mortal Kombat 10 came out, you can start countering shit. I was like, yeah, you might watch.
Oh, I didn't tell y'all this story, but when I was in
you good?
I think that was the daughter that ran across in the back.
Yeah, DJ story.
Oh.
No care in the world. Stomp the feet, everything. No care. Just fuck Daddy Live. I don't care about Daddy Live. I don't care. No it's about Daddy's Live like at all. But when I was in college, I met this girl in chem class, and she started hanging out with me and my best friend, and we used to play Mortal Kombat all the time. And it was her first time playing it. And I'm a guy that I don't show mercy. I don't care who you are.
Hell no.
I beat her in 2 seconds, and I'm not even lying. There's no exaggeration. I whipped her ass. As soon as it said fight, I was on her like white on rice. She got her ass whipped. My best friend was sitting there like, bro, why you do that to her? You didn't have to do it like that. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
She picked up sticks.
Yes, I did.
Like when my nephew step up, guess what? They get smacked the same.
That's right.
We got on Super Smash Brothers on the Nintendo Switch. So I'm gonna beat all y'all ass on this.
Beat them all. No mercy.
And they'll be mad because I'll beat everybody ass with Kirby. That's what's so bad about it.
I love Kirby. I love Kirby.
Kirby is my dog, man. Like I ain't even lie to you, bro. Kirby, and then on the
Get you
new
off
the,
the
on
map?
the new Super Smash Bros, bro. Kirby and Lucario is my shit. Lucario is
Yeah,
an OG.
I got a couple of characters on there. I haven't played it as well. I sold my Switch because I wasn't playing it as much. So
Nah, I don't play my Switch near as much as I used to, but it is my when I'm traveling, I definitely bring the Switch because
yeah,
I don't like packing up the PS5 all the time. So I'll bring
that's
the
true.
Switch. It's because it's still right in your bag.
I just like I come from the PSP. Like that's the
Hey,
type
look,
of
no,
fit
I
in
got
your
the P,
pocket type of shit. You feel me?
I
I got
had
the
the
PS Vita. I got the
advanced.
PlayStation Vita right now. Still,
I never had the Vita. I had the PSP.
I bought the Vita because I was in Afghanistan when it came out, so it was easy to buy. Because that's what I like. That I wish they could. I wish they would remaster it because when you play Madden, this is the one that when Megatron was on the cover, you can when you do create a player, you could take a picture of yourself and it turns you into it animated you for Madden. And I was like, that was some shit the PlayStation Vita had that you didn't have for like the PS4 at the time.
Yeah, I definitely need to bring one of those handhelds back because I missed the PSP playing that
Man.
damn. I forget what it was. It was like, it was a fighting game with like the X-Men. It had all these different characters. I forget the
Marvel
name
vs.
of the game.
Capcom.
I think so. Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom. Yo, me and my best friend used to beat each other down in that game on the porch outside.
Hey,
Marvel vs. Capcom is a religion over here, dog.
Yeah,
bro, we didn't have some tournaments at the house for that, boy.
See, I'm more of a UFC type of guy, so
I ain't gonna lie, shit. I think Josh still got the crown for that shit.
Yeah, I'm a UFC type of guy.
Yeah,
We got drunk one night.
Close.
Yeah, like
we got drunk one night. I took my brothers and my friends upstairs and I whipped them 7 times in a row. I made them all quit.
You know how you can tell somebody's really good at a certain game if you watch the characters that they use. And my brother he uses Beautiful Joe and he uses Wesker.
Okay.
That motherfucker's hard to use. That boy is an expert level savage with that mother. Yeah, he is. My brother is a dog. He murked everybody in the house. We had a Marvel vs. Capcom tournament and Beautiful Joe and Wesker and he used who else did he use? Oh, Gambit. Yeah, he used fucking Gambit.
Oh, I love Gambit. That's my favorite X-Men character.
Straight murked our ass in this tournament. Like nobody really stood a chance. So we had to switch it up and play Soul Calibur.
Ooh, okay.
Level the playing ground.
So you talk about your track and field, your sports background. You were in Choir, Future Farmers of America. For those of you that don't know what FFA is, interesting that you took up military. Were you ever in ROTC?
No.
Oh, that's interesting. So anyway,
I didn't like it.
So what made you dip and dab in all these different things?
I've always been the true definition of my zodiac, which is a Leo. So I'm always gonna try to do everything. Like that's just the nature of the game. As a Leo, we try to do everything we could possibly do, even if it overwhelms us. We're still like, fuck it, I got to do it. But I knew dipping my fingers into all these different things also would keep me out of trouble. You know, living in Oak Edition, which you know all too well about the reputation Oak Edition had right behind the high school. So you best believe I wasn't trying to go home because of the fuckery that be going on down there. So I would join these clubs and then I would go to track practice. You know, I'd go to choir rehearsal because I knew I wasn't getting home till like, you know, after dark. And I lived 3 streets right off of the train track. So it was easy to get to, but I didn't want to walk the streets at the wrong time. So I knew I could pinpoint it and I could get home no problem. But I've always just wanted to be that guy, like that tries as many things as possible until something just clicks.
And for those of you that know the history of any street called Martin Luther King.
Yes, sir. and I stayed off of Booker T.
Yep. Y'all know that's the hood for sure.
I got a Booker T projects and I got a Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King is a long strip too over here.
Oh, it is. And MLK down here in Houston is where they do slab Sundays.
Yeah,
that's where all the shootings.
Them boys be swanging. They be swinging them beautiful ass slabs every Sunday. That should be so lit.
And the cops don't do shit about it.
What the fuck you gonna do? What you gonna do with 70 fucking slabs at one time? You can't pull them all over.
Nah, they down here. They be flying bullets. You see who bullets fly fast. That's what MLK stands for over here. Black Power.
So you talk about your passion for gaming a little bit. So what is the game that you would crown yourself king in? I think I know the answer to this one.
Crown myself the king in
Spyro.
Nah, Spyro was the shit though, but no.
He said Spyro. Oh my
that's
God.
What he said. That's what Troy said. It wasn't Spyro. I guess if I had to really and truly, if I had to pick one, it'd have to be Super Smash Bros.
Oh, hey, Spyro.
What a do, Spyro the dragon.
That's my nigga right there. He gonna chill with us for the rest of the podcast.
Okay. I just wanted to get that out. So let's talk about your music a little bit because, like myself, me being a DJ, you have a very eclectic background in music. So
100%.
tell me, what's your favorite type of music? Your second, just give me a list of, everything you listen to.
Well, so I grew up an R&B baby because that's what mom always played. Mom always played SWV. She always played Escape. She was always playing, Tony Braxton, Brandy, like, all the OGs, if you will. You know what I'm saying? This Joe, Genuine, R. Kelly, then she would flip the script on us and start dropping the hip hop, Pac and Biggie, Nas, KRS-One, LL Cool J. Like I mean, just went in with it, and then like every now and again to be some gospel. That's when I started hearing like Kurt Franklin and all that stuff, and I didn't even know like religious music could be popping like that, but Kurt Franklin had that shit like on lock. Excuse my
Kurt
French using
Franklin,
that
Marvin Sapp.
because oh man, Marvin Sapp, man,
I can name a
never would
couple
have
of
made
more.
it.
Never
would have.
would.
But for me, once I got really good into both of those particular genres, I'm also a product of the '90s where I became a big time pop fan. Like I owned all the NSYNC albums, 100%. I listened to the Backstreet Boys, O Town,
Tell them about it.
Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, Mandy Moore, Hilary Duff.
I just about to say, don't forget Hillary.
Like Hillary was a dog.
O Town.
You listen to that one song by Jessica Simpson?
Yeah, like I went in, like I heard them all.
Simpson?
Like Allie and AJ. That's another one. Yeah, Allie and AJ was another one. No, it wasn't
that one. Well, it was two songs by Jessica Simpson. I only know one song by her.
Yeah,
I forgot about Allie and AJ, Disney Channel babies.
Allie and AJ,
man.
Yeah.
And then as I got into my post high school, about 3 years into college is when I finally started dabbling into country. Like I started listening. The only reason I ever dabbled into alternative music was because of American Idol, because I fell in love with Chris Daughtry.
Daughtry is my guy.
His music.
Daughtry is that dude.
He is the first artist that made me listen to alternative music, because his genre, he's not rock, he's not soft rock, he's alternative, 100%. If you listen to his stuff, he's alternative.
Yeah, I kind of like pop rock.
I wanted him to win, and then when he started dropping music, I was like I still listen to his music to this day. Like Chris Daughtry is now it's just Daughtry, but his music is phenomenal. The stories behind it, like his last album, still to this day has a couple of songs that got me through some really shitty times in some relationships. Like he had a song that like, you always have that one artist that has that one track you'll forever remember him for.
Yep.
So for Daughtry, it's Broken Arrows. Like, and I'll put it into context for you this way: if you ever get into a situation where you think this song will make you think back on a lot of your relationships when shit started falling apart. And Broken Arrows is literally, so Broken Arrow is a military term for it's time to retreat. That's what Broken Arrow means. He turned it into, I've given you everything I've gotten, and it's like everything I've done for you is just broken arrows. Like you just gave up on us, and that song is deep. That's a deep ass song with a deep ass meaning. But and then I got in, like I said, then I got into country and I started traveling. So I got really good at learning all the dances, the line dances, because country got a bunch of fucking line dances, and I was like, I became an expert level savage.
And you in turn taught me. I thank you for that.
Yep, I sure did. I taught a lot of people how to do that shit. So we did that. I did participate in a couple of mosh pits because I just wanted to do it, just say I did it, just to check that off the box. Never again though, because boy was dodging elbows like a motherfucker. Weave, like boys be acting a clown in these goddamn mosh pits, boy, and girls just be doing what girls do. They would just titties out and everything, just so excited for no reason.
So excited.
They were excited because they excited.
Yeah, but my music taste now is all over the place. It's like my wine collection. It's all over the place. Like, it's all about what mood I'm in.
Okay, so let's transition. You move. Well, before I say that, let's give a little. At 17, you enlist in the military.
Correct.
Well, you signed up to enlist in the military at 17. I did my homework. I actually didn't. I just know. But so at 17, you enlist in the military before you even done with high school.
Correct.
What pushed you to do that?
So that's why my name at the bottom says story time, because a lot of these things have stories attached to them. So junior year, we had got ready to go to a choir competition in South Padre Island. And that was exciting. I was like, first of all, in high school, if you know anything about Padre, you already know what the fuck the business is. So
This is a good story, by the way.
So a bunch of us got hella excited. We was like, wait a minute, bro, we about to go to Padre. We gotta get fucked up. So we already starting to plot and twist and plan. And mind you, the ones of us that are talking about this is myself, the captain of the track team, the captain of the football team was also in choir, the vice president of FFA, and the vice president of the shop group. So you got four key leaders in your school. Oh, and at the time, I was also the junior class president too. So I was holding a lot of titles at this time. So we said, all right, we got to plan this out, and we can't make ourselves look guilty. So if anybody asks a question, it's got to come through one of us, so we can kind of check what's up. So we asked our choir teacher, we're like, so I got a question. We're bringing one bag, and I'm gonna have it packed on nice and neat and tight. I was like, are they gonna make us dump our bags out and check bags, or like, are we just gonna get on the bus and roll? And when she said, we ain't got time for this bag checking stuff, just make sure you don't forget your dress uniform, I said, all right, green light. So I linked up one of my cousins, got me a couple of tall boy bottles of the Taka Vodka, slid them bitches in the bag, rolled them up real nice. Then same for everybody else. Everybody brought 2 or 3 bottles. So we brought bottles. So we driving down, getting ready to go to Padre. We stop at a convenience store. This is back when Volt was the drink of choice. So for those who know, this is 2007. So no, 2006. Yeah,
2006. That's the
So that's when
I haven't
Volt
heard that
that's
name
when
of that being a long time.
Yeah.
Volt is green, and then you had a red one. So we bought both, and we went in, this should have been red flags for everybody if you weren't paying attention. We go into this convenience store, and we come out, all of us, fucking 44-ounce plastic styrofoam cups, a bunch of Volts, and some other drinks that we was just like, fuck it. And we was in the back pulling up. We was tearing that shit up. We got the Padre.
In the back where?
In the back of the charter bus. We was pre-gaming before we got there. Like,
oh my God.
We knew we was in Padre, and we knew we didn't perform till that Sunday, and we got there on Friday. We was like, oh, we finna fucking party. So, and we had a little event going on. So we had an event going on that night. We finally get to Padre, and we go to this like assembly hall type of situation. And this guy's up there trying to do when they try to hypnotize you and all this shit like that.
Yeah.
So my dog A, I'm gonna call him A for this story. So he was gone. Like, he was out of there. He was drunk. Captain of the football team. He was donezo. So he was mentally susceptible to being hypnotized. So he basically got hypnotized. The motherfucker was drunk as fuck. Ended up on stage and ended up falling backwards in the chair. And I was like, oh shit. I said, he gonna get us caught. We ain't even got started yet. Luckily, he played it off real smooth. That shit ended. We go back to the hotel room. We're like, hey, what the fuck we doing tonight? So everybody passed out except for me and A. So me and A was like, fuck it. Let's go to the beach. Mind, it's like 10:30 at night. It's like 10:30 at night. So we go to the beach. We got the cooler, and we just walk. We're like, we just find us a nice little spot to set up. We meet these chicks, and they don't know us, and we don't know them. So we meet these chicks out there. We having a good conversation. They had a cooler out there too, so we were swapping beers and shit. And then, of course, how one thing leads to another, as we like to say. And so me and A decided to, they invited us back to their room. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, the show is not for kids. So if your kids is watching, I'm not sorry.
Hey,
give that disclaimer one time for the one time.
One time for the one time. So in true epic fashion for GQ himself, he had himself a hell of a nightcap, and so did A. And then we decided to say, fuck it, let's have a tag in, and we tag in, switch partners, and get in where you fit in. So we had a great night from that perspective. Got back to the room probably about 4:30. Had to be up for 6. Got up, took a shower, and my man put Spyro. Took a shower, and so while I was getting situated, some of the sopranos and altos was coming to the room to come link up with us because we were planning for the big bash, which is that night. So I came out and I was like, all right, cool, let's go. So we go to Slitterbond, which is connected to all the hotels. We perform our little pre-performance, not even a real performance, it's just like kind of let everybody see what kind of competition is here. So we did Micah knows this very well. We sung Zungali real quick one time.
That's my shit.
Because you know what I'm saying, you control the tempo. So we got through. We wanted to get through that set real quick so we can go to Slitterbond and play. So we did that, and then finally we was done for the day. So we said, all right, we're gonna have a beach party tonight. No, everybody pull up. No underclassmen, only upperclassmen. Juniors and seniors only. No freshmen, no sophomores, because y'all ain't earned y'all stripes yet. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't us. You know what I'm saying? We in the symphonic choir and we in the show choir. Y'all ain't in neither. So, you know what I'm talking about. So we go ahead.
I know what you're talking about.
We go ahead and bomb. Yeah, we go and had this bomb ass beach party, and I mean it was dumb, and it was all of us. It was just, and then this other group linked up with us, and we was just like trashed. I mean, absolutely trash. Mind you, the main performance is the next day. So we went through all the rest of those bottles that night. So we had no bottles remaining. We all woke up drunk. And I mean drunk. I to this day do not know how we performed to perfection to get all ones like we did. But we did. I still got my patch. I still got my patches. Like we did the damn thing. Like we killed that shit. And then on our way back, some of the underclassmen that was jealous because they didn't get to party with us decided to drop dime, if you will.
Snitches.
So we had already had our story on lock. First of all, we brought nothing back. Nothing. No evidence, nothing. We brought absolutely no bottles back, no souvenirs, none of that shit. We threw all that shit away. We threw that shit away on the couple floors above us just to make sure. Like there was no bullshit. So we get back. She goes through the rotation. She asks all of us same questions. I'm the first one in, first one out. She gets to our wood shop kid, and she broke him.
Oh,
she broke him. Boy, she broke him in about 5-6 minutes. My man was fluster red. He was crying. He told damn near the whole story. The parts that he knew of, he didn't know about the secret, the side quest that me and A was taking care of. So we ended up getting in trouble. Spent 45 days at alternative school. This actually became a big deal because they actually had posted this in the Baytown Sun because it was so many marquee individuals that were involved in this situation. You don't typically see the captain of the football team, the captain of the track team, the class president, and the vice president of a major club all get in trouble for the same incident. That's not a common thing.
That's crazy. Y'all were in choir together.
It was so bad because we had to have a meeting with all the principals, our parents, and the superintendent had to come down and sit in this round table with us. Because at the time, yeah. So when you go to alternative school, they don't offer AP and pre-AP classes.
Nope.
That's all the fuck we took. I had to teach myself government at this fucking school. Like I had to do all that shit. So they were like, listen, we're gonna make a deal with y'all. If y'all can come to 2 of these Saturday schools, like Saturday sack, that's the fuck we used to call it.
Yeah.
For like 8 hours. Then they was like, all right, then we'll knock time off your sentence. So they knocked us down to 21 days. So it was right in time for A&M to go get on the football field. I was in the middle of cross country season, and we performed our region choir music for everybody at SCGC. We rehearsed every day to get our shit down. Like we wasn't finna miss a valuable rehearsal time. So we get back to school. I wasn't even back on campus for a week, and I ended up getting suspended for like 4 days for setting off fireworks on campus.
Sound like me, bro.
This is all one story. Like this shit is all one story. Like that's what's so crazy. So this is literally all one story. So me and my boy, me and my boy Birdman, he came to school with the 100-pack of Black Cats, and I was like, this motherfucker. I already knew what he was thinking. I said, fuck it, let's put it in the trash can by the dance hall. Mind you, the dance hall's here. There's a camera that's literally can see you right here. We didn't know that. We wasn't paying attention. My head wasn't on the swivel. So we threw them bitches in there and we took off running. And we bolted to the weight room. Next day, old fucking Neil Hall. I was on a first name basis with my principal. That's how bad it was.
He
came in. He didn't even call me over the loudspeaker. He didn't send nothing down. He came and got me personally out of class. I was in economics at the time. I was in Coach Chambliss' class. Yeah, I was in economics when he pulled me out of class. And then when I got there, I saw it was him. I saw Birdman was already there, and I was like, oh, fuck, we got caught. Like the worst thing you could possibly do.
I was like, bro.
Yeah. I hold on,
bro,
wait.
You don't know what went in my head. You don't know what I'm like. I'm down here just looking at a text real quick, and I didn't hear nothing. I'm like, am I in a different place? I said, am I in a different place? I woke up like, where am I?
Hey, G, you froze for a little bit. I thought I froze and not until I seen Troy move.
Right, man, because I'm like, am I still here? We still on the podcast?
Yeah. Yes, we are still on the pod. But so he showed the video. Like I said, that's the worst thing you could possibly do. It showed me the aftermath of some fuckery that I'm a part of. So when the fireworks went off, Miss H had just so happened to come out of the dance hall, and she walked past the trash can right before it went off. So all you seen is now listen, Miss H was the crush of the school. That was the thickest white lady I ever seen in my life, and she was fine as hell. So to watch her dance like the old school Western when they shoot at your feet, like the 6 shooters, oh man, she did some Holy Ghost meets Western shit and took off. Oh, I started dying laughing in the office right in front of Neil. I was rolling. I didn't give a fuck. That shit was way too funny.
No remorse.
I couldn't help it. No, because that shit was too fucking funny. Like, I don't know what person could have kept a straight face if they saw that fucking video. I wish I could have got a copy of that shit. That shit was fucking hilarious. But
Neil had to watch that at least 6 times so he wouldn't laugh in front of y'all.
Oh yeah, but at the same time, I ended up getting suspended for 3 days, and that sucked. But I took a lot of time to just figure out some shit, and I was like, all right, this ain't a good look. So I finally did. I was doing research all summer. It actually came down to me either joining the Navy or joining the National Guard. Those were like my two choices. The biggest determining factor that pushed me more towards the National Guard is because I wanted to be close to my mama. Like, that was it. I just want to be close to my mom. Even now at the almost age of 34, I live all of 17 to 19 minutes away from my mom right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of my turning point. And I knew my parents couldn't, pay if I wanted to go to college and stuff. I knew they weren't gonna be able to help me pay for that. I already knew that. And it's not like a knock on them. It's just the way I grew up. So I needed to do something that secured my own future, and I needed to do something that was going to make me a better man. That was my main everything for it. And that's how I ended up joining the military at 17. Now I'm 16 years in, and I'm still rocking and rolling.
You 4 years away from retirement, brother.
Yeah. So
yeah,
with all of that, right? With all of the antics and having the fun, did you ever admire did you ever admire grown up like in that time, or did you find that later on when you find out what you wanted to do in life?
You said
have you who did you admire in that time, while you were going through all those things besides your mother, because I know you're going to look up to your mom in that time? Was there like a figure outside the home or somebody inside of school?
Actually, so it actually was my track coach. It was Coach Southall. That was somebody that I admired because he gave me a chance. Like I'm forever grateful to Coach Southall because he took a chance on me. 100%. And that actually came back full circle as well, because I worked an event recently at the for the Texas High School Coaches Convention, and I saw him there. Now, mind you, I haven't seen him since I graduated, and then I started helping, or I volunteered to go, and then all of a sudden, when I was deployed to Africa, he had his retirement ceremony. But when I saw him and we recognized each other and we had that moment, and I finally got to tell him, I was like, I am where I am today as a coach and all these other things because of you. Like, you are the reason I knew I was going to become a track coach, because of the way that we practice and train, the way you were with me, the way you were with all the other guys. And my track program is modeled off of your track program. I just put my own little spin on it. Like, I told him that, like, I spilled that shit out. Like, I had a borderline emotional moment when I saw him for the first time in that long of a time, because that man meant a lot to me. He still does. He's one of the most important male figures in my entire life. And it just made the decision for me to be a coach that much simpler, because now I'm a middle school coach and I coach 7th and 8th graders on the regular, and I try to do the same for them like Coach Southall did for me. I give all kids a chance. I don't cut kids off my track team. I tell kids very simply, track is a self-cutting sport. You will cut yourself before I cut you. Like, I've had kids who weren't even on the track team. They just wanted to get in better shape. I said, listen, as long as you don't distract me and cause any problems in practice, you can come work out with us. I don't care. I've always been that guy. So I've had a lot of kids that just wanted to stay in shape, and they would just come to track practice and run with us. And I was cool with that.
All right, so we talk about Coach Southall and you doing track. Now let's take a transition here. You also are a basketball coach.
I am.
You are also a basketball coach. I've seen a couple of your games. You've reached out to me when we talked strategies a couple of times. Compared to how you are as a track coach,
they go hand in hand. They go hand in hand for me, because I stopped coaching boys basketball a long time ago because I got sick and tired of the egos. I 100% it's the egos. One of the few reasons why I dislike a guy like James Harden, why I couldn't stand like guys like Steph Curry. Like, I love those guys as players, but I don't like the impact they've had on the youth. We've thrown fundamentals out the window because we want to shoot threes from 10 feet behind the 3-point line. And you're not ready for that yet. You don't have that strength at the middle school level to consistently hit 38-foot 3-pointers or half-court threes. Like, you're not there yet. You can't even dribble with your left fucking hand yet.
Damn, all that, you might not even be able to shoot a 3 consistently right on the line.
So it really bothered me. And, like, yeah, and yeah, that too. But like, and that's what bothered me. And it's because no matter what, and you couldn't tell the boys nothing because their parents had their back. Oh, my baby been playing AAU for da-da-da. I don't give a fuck. You see this banner behind me? That bitch got 1 loss on it. We win around here. And I'm not finna, and I tell parents all the time, I was like, I have the same conversation every year, no matter what sport it is. My very first topic, and I say, listen, I stand on my 3 principles as a coach. First principle is I never buckle to parents. and I make sure they know that. I do not care about your opinion. I don't. I genuinely don't. If you want to bring up something to me, fine. Bring it to me via email. Do not approach me on game day. That is coaching. That's my coaching principle number 2. Like, you absolutely do not talk to me after a game, especially after a loss.
That's
Don't
facts,
talk to me
Moo.
after a god. I'm more pissed. I'm more pissed when we lose than my players are, because I firmly believe in players win games and coaches lose games. I 100% believe in that philosophy, because there's always something as a coach you probably could have done that you just didn't see at that particular time. Now, if the players are just absolutely just cold, then again, that's why I consider to say coaching is the way it is. I'm the same coach where at halftime I had my team running suicides because we came out so lethargic and flat. And literally at halftime, we ran motherfucking suicides. We won that game by 25. Like,
That's what it takes.
Like, I don't care. Like, I really don't. Like, I didn't like that. And then my third principle is very simple. Let me do my job. Point blank, period. Let me do my job. And I've stood on those 3 principles since in college. Those are all in what's called my coaching pedagogy, which is a thing that I learned in one of my coaching classes in college. And it's basically the principles as a coach that you will stand on. It's usually taught for teachers, but coaches can use it as well. Alluding to what Michael was saying, he was talking about the 1A, 1B. When I started coaching girls, that's when I really started flourishing as a basketball coach. Like, I won a lot of games with the boys, but I changed lives with coaching girls. Like, I am literally that coach where I can take a team that has like next to no talent and I will maximize the absolute fuck out of them. 100%. 100%. My last coaching stint, coaching these girls that I had, those are some of my favorite girls. They were awesome. Wasn't my best team. They were not the best girls team I ever coached. But the program that I was with, that I still coach track with, but that girls basketball program, at them girls as 7th graders won 2 total games last year. 2. Between 2 teams, they won 2 games. With me alone, we won 6 in a span of a year. Flip around, turn around. Mind you, the tallest girl on my team was about 2 inches shorter than me. We had no tall girls, but we balled the fuck out. I said, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure out what we're good at, and I'm gonna maximize it. We were good at defense, and we were good at transition. So I said, guess what the fuck we about to do? We about to press at half court, and we about to make
Coach
motherfuckers
Carter.
exhausted. Oh, we basically was. So
Brother,
we
be out here like Cat Williams' son. What do you feel like doing? Running?
We Coach Carter over here. Run.
we ran a 1-2-2 half court, where my person up the top of the key's job was to force that person to one side or the other for the trap. So it was a basic press, very easy. If you push him to the right, that opposite wing now needs to drop down into the passing lane for the steal. You get that steal, the person that trapped on the outside close to the basket, take off. That ball going down there to the opposite block, catch that ball, make that ball. Easiest press you can teach. And because the girls were athletic, I had a couple of soccer girls, a couple of volleyball girls, and some basketball girls on this team. So they knew the instincts of it, which is all I needed. And we were very successful. We had 3 come from behind victories. We had a game where, had the referee literally, I'm not playing, had the referee actually heard me when I was literally yelling at the top of my lungs about this timeout. We were playing one of the top teams in the district. We were down 15 at half. We stormed back in the 3rd quarter to cut that lead down to 3. We stopped their best player, because this is the shitty part, right? They brought down 2 of their best players from the A team to play on the B team for this particular week, because they were trying to get their B team to a higher seed in the playoff. And we came within 7 seconds of upsetting them. They was beating they were beating everybody by 30 plus. The biggest lead they got up to on us was 15, and we cut that shit down. And it's because of our transition defense, our free throws, and our layup game. And we got it down to where we were down by 3, 7 seconds. I'm yelling. As soon as we got across half court, I'm yelling, timeout. I'm yelling it. And I knew this ref game, but it was loud as shit in that arena. But I was yelling. I had the perfect play drawn up. I knew we was going to win that game. I had the perfect play, because I'm a clipboard coach. I am 100% a clipboard coach. I will design a brand new play mid-game. 100%.
Yeah, it depends on what you're seeing out there.
I used to travel. I used to travel and watch like private schools play, or go watch some of the other people play, because private school ball is way different than public school ball. 100%. That's where I got that press from. I watched a private school run that to perfection, and I was like, I got some athletic girls. I could do this. So I was sitting there with my blank cardstock basketball courts with my pencil, and I drew it. I was literally drawing it. The lady next to me was like, "Sir, are you a basketball scout?" I said, "No, I'm a middle school basketball coach. I'm learning right now." And I was drawing up this play. I drew it up both sets because they ran it in 2 different types of sets, and I drew it up. I went back and I showed the other coach. Said, "Listen, I think we can run this." And sure enough, we ran it. It became one of our fundamental defensive plays to run to make your dribbler tired, because nothing is better than an exhausted point guard, because you can't make passes when you're exhausted.
Facts.
So we made them. They had to switch ball carriers after a while because we was wearing them out. But that's how it was for me. They'll always be here for me when it comes to it. I mean, like I said, track is my passion, but I do love coaching girls basketball at the middle school level, like specifically. It's just the way they buy in so much quicker.
So since you're speaking of basketball, let's transition back to the time when you were coaching boys basketball. I just so happened to be present for this. You know, the night before, I wasn't off. I remember this day so well. The night before, I wasn't off on Saturdays, but that particular Saturday I was off. You called me. I was like, all right, you had a tournament, first game of the tournament. I think it was after the first or the second. I don't remember which one it was, but
second. That was second.
Okay, it was the second game of the tournament. I think y'all were down by 25.
Yep.
Y'all were down by 25.
We couldn't buy a motherfucking basket that day.
And I remember at halftime, you went off.
I did. I almost broke that fucking clipboard.
And I remember sitting in the stands. This is one of the best stories I've ever had of watching you coach. I'm sitting in the stands, and these parents are like, we got this win, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And I know they could hear. I know Jeremy heard me across the court. I said, it's crazy because y'all are about to lose this game, even though you're up by 25. And I knew it was going to happen just because y'all were ice cold. Talk about making the adjustment, and how was that to storm back from 25 down? I think I ended up beating the team by double digits. It was a crazy flip.
So this is another product of why I've always been a Miami Heat fan, because of Pat Riley. And Pat Riley was a master of adjustments. And I still think Pat Riley is one of the greatest basketball coaches of all time. He's on my Mount Rushmore of NBA coaches for all time, because people don't understand the levels of intricacy that Pat Riley puts into a game plan. Like, you get a glimpse of it if you watch the Showtime Lakers show on HBO Max, but when you really study Pat Riley is a genius, because Pat Riley understood players. And when you understand players, you know how to beat them. So you talked about the adjustments. So what I noticed, one, is we couldn't shoot very well. I knew defensively we were doing fine. We were holding them as best we could, but offensively we couldn't get anything rolling. So I said, listen, we're scrapping the playbook. We're not running plays. We're going to run a set. That's what we're going to do first. We're going to run and that's when I started adopting the ability to, some teams can run plays. Some teams are better at running a play set. I said, we're going to run a set. So I set up and designed brand new, right on the spot at halftime. Changed the whole game. I said, we're going to run a set. This is our new offensive set. But we're also going to utilize Inferno. So I had Inferno put in the playbook a long time ago. Inferno is, you guys know this because you guys are basketball guys. It's when you have your top two players jump the ball. You jump into that trap. So our code for that was fire. So we knew when I called fire, I had two guys jump the ball. My three, who was very athletic, would move right to the top of the key in that passing lane for the steal. So I had to start putting the pressure on them. Mind you, I had two guards who were literally shorter than all three of us. I'm talking about short. My man Grayson Van Pelton and Mr. Herron, man. Those was some shorties. But them shorties could defend anything. It was like I had two Patrick Beverleys on my roster. Because them boys was some dogs. And I was motivated because not only was because Michael was there, but I was also there because my parents were there. You know what I'm saying? This was the first time my whole family show was at a game. This was a big deal for me. I'm like, I'm not finna take this L while my whole fucking supporting cast is here. I was like, oh, no. And so we started applying the pressure. We started applying the pressure hard. I had a 12 kid rotation. I was rotating just to give my kids a break. I said, we're going to run their ass into the dirt. Like, that's exactly. I told them, I said, we're going to run their ass into the dirt. And we exhausted them in the third quarter, cut that 25-point lead down to 8 going into the fourth. And that was all she wrote. We flipped the script because we started off the fourth quarter on a 6-0 run.
Was it all she wrote, or was it murder she wrote?
Oh, it was definitely murder.
It was murder. It was
definitely murder.
Sound like murder to me.
I pulled my starters in the last 3 minutes of that game, of the fourth quarter. there
It
was
was
no need at
definitely
that
Murder
point
She Wrote.
because them parents was hella quiet. I could hear Micah over everybody, and he's like, "I told y'all this game was over, but it was over for y'all." Like that was one of my proudest moments as a coach because to have a double-digit comeback game like that when you're still kind of trying to get your own feet wet coaching was hard. But I trusted my instincts and I trusted my knowledge of basketball from what I'm doing because I don't really watch my players a lot when I'm in the middle of a game. I watch the other team because I want tendencies. Because if I see that the opposing point guard is always looking at the coach for answers, it's not a confident point guard. Attack his ass. Like if somebody likes to dribble a lot, I said, let them dribble. They're going to make a mistake. And when they make that mistake, snatch that ball from them and tell them, thank you for the free Christmas present you just gave me. Take it off and go score. Like I'm looking for tendencies. I'm looking for what you're trying to do and what you're good at. And I'm going to find a way to take it away from you. Henceforth, my other favorite coach, and Bill Belichick. I'm going to take away what you do best and make you beat me a different way once I figure it out. So that is my entire coaching philosophy in a nutshell.
All right. So we talked about your coaching. We talked about your gaming. There's one more passion that we definitely need to go over here, and we'll get to podcasting after this one. The one more passion I want to talk to you about is your strength and conditioning. You have to be one of the most in shape people on planet Earth. Where does that passion come from? Because I can call you 5 o'clock in the morning if I need anything and be like, what you doing? Well, I'm up lifting weights. I can call you 8 o'clock that same evening. What you doing? Getting my second workout in, or just finished running, or doing stuff like you're always working on yourself. Talk about where does that come from?
So it came from adopting the mindset that I always wanted to be an athlete. Like that's where it started. I always wanted to be an athlete, no matter what. I never not want to be an athlete. I'm to this day, I'm still a pretty damn good athlete. Like, and so what I did is I adopted that mindset. So when you adopt the mindset of an athlete, you still train like an athlete. I still have track spikes in my trunk. I still go run on the track. Like I still go do my sprint work. I still run the bleachers. I'm a big component of functional strength training. I love flipping tires, battle roping. Like I will do it all. Elevation training, mass training. I've done all that shit. Like that is my shit. So the other half of that, as far as a passion goes, is I had a nightmare when I was a sophomore in high school that I was 300 pounds and it scared the absolute shit out of me. I'm dead ass. I've never been a big guy.
I
Never
know.
been a big
I've
guy.
heard this before. It's just
so
funny.
like I just said I can't, if I ever woke up and I was 300 pounds, I think I would lose my fucking shit. Like, cause I was like, I couldn't imagine trying to move around with 300 pounds. Like it wouldn't have made any fucking sense. So I said, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna train my ass off. And then, I insert my daughter into the fold and I'm like, now I got to be a part of the anti-dad bod movement. I ain't a dad bod guy. Like I'm just not. I watched too many movies in the 90s. Like I said, LL Cool J is one of my favorite actors. And the fact that women would lose their shit when his man took his shirt off, I said, that's got to be me when I get into my 30s and 40s too. Like I want to be able to have that spring break body like year round. You know what I'm saying? Like I can go to the beach now and take my shirt off and I'm cool with it because I already know what I got rocking and rolling
I
underneath
go
the
to the
shirt.
beach too, take my shirt off. Even with my dad bod, I'm cool with it.
Boy, Moose said he cried. But it's the truth though. Like I couldn't do
No
it.
dad bods.
Hey,
Hey, Moo, hashtag Troy about to lose his. Because I'm about to start hitting the gym again, baby.
yeah. So that's always been me. And then I became a competitive athlete because I started running a Spartan race. I ran Spartan race before it blew up. I was running it in 2010 and 11 before it got as
sure
big as
were.
it did. Like Reebok
Yeah.
was the only sponsor they had at the time. No, Reebok and Killcliff, only sponsors they had. So that's also where I met Sean Ramirez. Sean Ramirez is in his 40s. He has been the CrossFit fittest man on the planet 5 times in a row in the upper ages of 40. Like the dude is phenomenal. So me being able to meet him and be motivated to see that this guy, and I'm not a big CrossFitter. Like CrossFit's not my thing. I don't knock CrossFitters. I just can't train like CrossFitters do. It's not my cup of tea. But to see this man be in his 40s, running in a Spartan race, mind you, and killing it, I was like, oh yeah, I can still do this shit for a long time. Like, of course, my quarterback, Tom Brady, did it till he was 45. I'm like, I can still do this. I can still compete. And I competed in a Spartan race until I got my trifecta, which means you did 3 Spartan races in a calendar year, which means you got your sprint, your super, and your beast done. So when you conquer the beast for the first time, it is a life-changing moment because that is 13.6 miles plus obstacles. And it is a mentally breaking experience. Like there are times where you're like, I don't know if I can fucking finish this fucking race because it's fucking hard. Like it is. It's genuinely a hard race. Like you're filling up a bucket full of rocks and you got to carry that bitch up a hill, turn around, bring it back downhill. Mind you, this bucket ain't got that little handle on it. You got to hold that bitch like a bear, or you got to, rest it up on your shoulder, or you got to like hold it like a walking deadlift. Like your whole objective is just not to lose your rocks in this case. But when I finally accomplished that and got my trifecta, that was like the happiest, most accomplished day of my life because I completed the 3 levels of a Spartan. And I was like, yeah, I can still do this. Like I can train my ass off and I can still do that is actually my goal for this year is to get back in the Spartan shape to start competing again. So I am looking forward to that.
Well, good luck, brother.
Appreciate it.
Damn, that's what's up. So let's get into
Next summer. I will not have my dad bod no more. You watch. I'm gonna have my
You heard me.
4-pack back, and I'm gonna be good. Don't laugh at my 4-pack.
What you gonna do with the other 2?
They ain't there. All I got is 4. That's what I got. I got a 4-pack, bro. I could work the 6 in, but if the 4 is there without even trying. I can suck my fat belly in right now, and you can see my 4-pack, bro. It's still
like
there
that.
within the fat, you know.
Hey, it'd be like that. I ain't mad at you.
Spartan GQ. That's right. Shout out Spartan GQ.
That
So
boy blue.
let's flip this and get into the world of podcasting. Obviously, I know the story about how me and you got into the world of podcasting, but it's story time. Go ahead and share your side of the story about how this thing got together.
So me and Micah have always done this. It was just over the phone. Like we've always done this podcasting thing. What it was just us talking on the phone for like an hour and a half about everything going on in the sports world at the time, whether it was football, basketball, baseball, UFC, boxing, whatever it was. And it was literally just us having these conversations. And it was like, man, if we had a podcast right now, we could literally be recording this shit. We could be live right now. And this went on while we were in college together.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we were big fans of watching, First Take. We went back and watched when Skip Bayless was by himself on Cold Pizza. Of course, we get up to the days of like, Undisputed. And so it was like the world of sports debate became a big thing for us. And I was like, man, we can do this. And, lo and behold, it took us until we got into our upper adult life where we was like, I think it's time to actually get this shit rocking and rolling. So on this same day, I just so happened to jump into Amazon and found the Mayonocaster on sale. And I was like, hey, this is a sign, bro. The Mayonocaster is on sale. It comes with 2 mics. We can get this hoe for the low. What's up with it? So we cut that cost down the middle. I ordered it. It was there in 2 days. And we started getting it set up. And then we was like, fuck, the Mayonocaster ain't got enough power. We could not figure out how to power the microphones. So I was like, all right. We had every single microphone plug you could think of. XLR. We had them all. None of the motherfuckers worked because we did not realize that the Mayonocaster did not have enough phantom power to power 2 mics. It could power 1, but not 2. So insert GQ again, back on Amazon, trying to figure out the solution to ghost power. And we finally came across these 2 external phantom power devices that you run 1 mic cord through on one side, 1 through the other, and 1 into the Mayonocaster, and we finally had sound. Our first couple of podcast episodes were fucking terrible from an audio perspective, not from a content perspective, because we could not get the fucking power down. The edits, like we were using Audacity, and like when I tell you it was taking us hours to edit 1 episode to cut out the pauses. Like our first couple episodes, we had so many fucking pauses. That shit sounded like horrible. Like I was just like, God, I can't believe this is how we sound right now. Because I was in the middle of the COVID-19 response mission. So when I wasn't doing anything, I was listening to the pod. I was like, all right. So it would take me an entire work day, at least 6.5, 7 hours to edit every single long pause out until I started learning all the tricks and the trades that Audacity had. Because I struggled at first. And Mike was like, trust me, if anybody going to get it, you going to get it. I probably watched 5 or 6 different YouTube videos on every single thing, the fucking editing podcast, Audacity this, Audacity. And I finally found the cheat code. The cheat code are these 5 basic steps that you do to edit audio to perfection. And I didn't know about this. Had I known about this, I could have saved about 5 hours worth of editing time. But once I figured out that code, which evolved around compression, first and foremost, you have to compress the file. Then you can stop the spikes in the audio, and then you've got the stabilizer to stabilize the sound, to basically synchronize all the sound, and then you have your output. So I was like, after we got that done, oh, everything started sounding clean and shit. Was like, oh shit, I think we got it. And then we continued, and then every episode after that got better and better and better and better. And of course, we know how season one ended. It literally caused us to blow up. Before we joined from the sidelines, Gentlemen's Talk had gotten all the way up to a number. We're at number 34. Yeah, number 34
34.
ranked podcast in the hobbies category. We blew up. Like I was like, we about to crack this top 20. We about to crack. We was hyped. Was like, we finna crack this top fucking 20. Like we tried hard, and we never got any higher than 30, 33, 33. No, 32. 32 is the highest
32.
we got.
And
32
then
is
we
the
were
highest
ranked
we
like
achieved.
we were ranked like top 10 in Australia or
Yes.
something. It was some
Yeah.
random.
Oh no, New Zealand.
New Zealand. Yeah.
Yeah. We were top 10 in New Zealand. We were top 15 in Switzerland. We were top 20 in Iran. And there's one other one. We were because we were top 20 in why can't I remember right now? The UK. We're in the UK.
Yeah.
I was like, how the fuck do we have so many international listeners? I don't know where they came from. Because all we did was what every other podcaster does. Once we got our RSS feed designed, we uploaded on the Anchor, and then it uploaded everywhere else because we were on all the platforms except for iHeart. iHeart was the only thing we weren't on at the time. And we had some people, we had some religious audio listeners. Like we had a couple of cats, they listened to it at work, and they was like, bro, that show was fucking crazy. But it all started with the GQ bomb. That spiked us. We had a 125% increase in engagement for 13 days because they were waiting for the next moment where somebody on the show was going to blow up about some shit. And then we discovered this one random day where this guy named Troy just hit me up, and then he was like, hey, I'm looking for a guest for a football show if anybody wants to come in. And then, boom, I jumped on Inside the Huddle. At the time, it was just called the football show. But all of a sudden, one of his coworkers approached him, was like, man, who is this? Who is that guy y'all had on the football show, man? That dude was entertaining. He was this.
Shout out John.
I didn't know the impact that we were having. Because we had our normal listeners. Me and Mike we had the same 40 to 50 listeners all the time. So we knew who was listening to the show. I had no idea who was listening to, of course, From the Sidelines, because I was just what I thought was a one-time thing turned into a revolving door of more things. And now myself and DJ Michael B are here with the From the Sidelines family, still doing Gentlemen's Talk. Now we're doing video and audio. So it's like, here we are.
Shout out John. I'm texting him right now.
Yeah.
Shout out John. John is the one that got us here.
Yeah, John loves GQ. From day one, he's like, that guy GQ, man, he really knows his shit. He really knows it. He really knows his shit. I'm gonna have a back, John. Yeah, you need to get GQ on. Every time, GQ coming on this. Oh, yeah, he's coming on. I gotta watch it tonight. I gotta watch it. Nigga be eating his food fast. Gotta get the GQ. Nah, but shout out John, man. Love John.
So let's transition more into your family life. You're a big family guy. You love doing things with your family. 2 daughters, a teenager, 2-year-old, terrible twos, Lord. Shout out Calissa, though. That's my partner, man.
I have a toddler and I have a teenager. It's horrible. And I don't even call her a toddler. She's a terrorist. I have a terrorist and I have a teenager. Straight up.
So talk about your transition into dad life.
That was hard. Because when you're somebody like me who's always on the move, always on the go, always doing this, always doing that, I keep myself busy on purpose. Because one, I ain't trying to go to jail. If I'm busy, I can't be fucking nothing up. So I was always busy. I was always hustling. I was always trying to do something. Even if it was like I go to the gym and spend 2-3 hours at the gym, anything that would keep me from doing something reckless, I was with it. So when you get involved in a relationship with a woman that has a kid, first and foremost, that by itself is a difficult concept already. You go from being the boyfriend to the boyfriend / the stepdad, given the situation, whatever the case might be. And this all happened during COVID when I made the full transition, because I was fully active for the military at the time. everybody knows the COVID-19 mission was fucking bananas. So almost 3 years of that for me, and this is when I met my wife. I met my wife on COVID, on Tinder during COVID. Let me say that the right way. So we are a product of Tinder. So yes, Tinder does work, but I had no intentions of being in a
Tinder
relationship
works.
from meeting. I had no intentions of being in a relationship because of Tinder. We all know what Tinder was for at the time.
Tinder works.
Yeah, no, Tinder
Still at
motherfucking
this
works.
time, it works.
Tinder motherfucking works. Trust me,
Tinder
I
works
know.
for real. All
Oh, no.
right.
There
It's
were a lot
funny
of
that
Pull
things
it's
up
to
funny.
and
this.
stay there. They don't pull up.
My
and
brother
get
found
you.
his girlfriend on Tinder too, bro.
Yeah,
So I'm not even
listen.
surprised.
Tell you right now,
I'm not knocking them, bro.
I got stories upon stories when it comes to that shit. But anywho, I'm gonna get back on track. I met my wife on Tinder, and we were talking. And one day I was like, we're off for the weekend, and so she was like, why don't you pull up? I'll cook something for you. And I was like, word, all right. Like, you gonna offer me
You
free
said you
food?
cooked
Shit.
something for me, nigga. I
Like,
would have ran
what
there
I'm
like
saying?
fucking
I
Tasmanian
said, all
devil.
right. So I went through, saying had and Micah knows this very well. He sees all the pictures of the type of cooking that my wife be doing. So I never forget
Wait,
this
bro.
because she
I
made
can't wait.
the first meal she ever made for me was smothered pork chops with mashed potatoes and gravy and corn. First meal she ever made for me. We weren't even together
I
yet when
love
she made this
corn.
for me. So we weren't
There's no
together
other
yet. And I was
vegetable
like,
that goes with mashed potatoes better than corn, bro.
so I was
Nothing.
just like, that boy Moo is wilding in the chat right now.
He
But,
said,
but so yeah, like, so we did that, and I was like, man, I was like, dope, and then we started listening to music, and we was listening to an R&B playlist off of Spotify. And like this is kind of where I knew, because for people who don't really know the man behind the name, I got to a point in my life where like the most important thing for me with a woman was the person.
Mhm.
Does the energy match? Does the personality match?
That's
Like,
where
it
I'm
was
at.
the person. Like, of course, we all have our, I'm gonna call it superficial standards. We all want like this, that, this. More women want this than we do. That 6 foot tall man making six figures, all the type of shit. And I'm like, and sometimes most guys, man, I just want a chick with a fat ass. Everybody has their thing. Everybody has their thing. I care about the person. I care about the person more than anything else.
Facts.
And her person was amazing to me. Like, I fell in love with the person before anything else. I was like, she is exactly what I
need
could
in your
be.
life.
Yeah, and so we was getting it in.
I feel you.
Like, yeah,
I
see,
feel you.
look, Moolage basically was
No, I know what you're saying.
spoiling without spoiling, but like,
I'm feeling that right now. I'm feeling that right now.
Yeah. So I'll never forget, we finally came across like one particular song. Michael know this song very well, but Slow Jams came on, Usher and Monica.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
And oh man, we was in that thing. I mean, we was singing that motherfucker back and forth, and then of course, Nightcap.
Yeah. Well,
Nightcap. First time. Not the last time, just the first time. So
we know it ain't the last time.
So I want to pause there and ask you something, because this is my last question on my list, bro. I told DJ I'm probably gonna get a little weird with this, because I know you guys have like little segments where you ask little weird questions, but I'm skipping it today. Because shit, you talking about your girl and me and her and your first night, shit like that. I want to know about your first kiss, bro. That's what I want to know about.
That's
Who
easy.
and how did that happen?
That's a
actually
good one.
easy. I actually
How
know.
did that happen?
I know the story. That's what's even better. So I got to put that on the screen real quick.
He turned him into the Black Eyed Peas. Boom, pow. Boom, boom, boom.
Man.
Gotta get that.
Gotta
Boom,
get that.
boom, boom. Gotta get that. Go ahead, G.
Troy a damn fool.
I had to post that comment real quick.
Oh man.
Netflix definitely asks if you still watching. Oh man!
So,
all right, first kiss
actually happened. It actually happened in 3rd grade. Yeah, I told you. I have a very vivid memory. So
Listen,
it was
we
in
could
3rd
talk
grade.
off camera about this shit, bro.
Yeah, we were in 3rd grade. We actually had just watched. We were in class. This is back when teachers sometimes would throw a movie on. So we had watched Aladdin. And there was a scene, of course, where they kissed from the top of the castle and all that other stuff like that. And I'm sitting next to Nikki, and then we go, everybody after that is recess time. Everybody at recess, we all playing and stuff. So we go, this is back when we used to, the parks that we had back then was so much more fun than what the kids play with these days. Like we had the old tires and shit that you would play hide and seek. You know, you could hide inside the tire because they had that whole standing up. So we went. So we did. So we went inside one of them tires where nobody could see us, and it was like, and we because we had already been talking about it, and it was like, you see how they did that? It's like, man, we should try that. And sure enough, underneath this fucking blue tire at Crockett Elementary at the time, boom, me and Nikki had kissed. And that was my first kiss in 3rd grade.
Well, damn.
I'm telling you, boy, my memory is on lock, boy. I got stories.
Listen, like I said, the story I could tell about 3rd grade, I can't tell on live. So we got to talk about that off camera. You know what I mean? Off camera. Turn the cameras and the mics off. You got to read my lips when I say it.
Oh Lord.
So I wanna talk to you about
Shout out to Nikki.
something that a lot of people here know on the live know and they don't know. We got to college. We were in college and we linked up again. I mean, we had never stopped linking up, but you know what I mean. We were back together. You had just came back from, I guess, basic training when you came to Lee, and I had just came back from Lamar. We have a group of friends, and we started brotherhood.
We
and
sure
for
did.
those of you that don't know, you hear us say, "Hold up, God damn it!" all the time. It's an LXG brotherhood. This is the thing here. So,
December
comment on
16th,
what
2010.
the party.
December 6th, 2010 is when LXG was established.
So, we don't got to really dive deep into it, but tell us about how the brotherhood works, because I think we treat it like a fraternity, and a lot of people outside looking in probably don't understand that. So, what does being an LXG with men mean to you?
So it's ironically it's no different than the movie itself. Of course, we've all seen like the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. The difference is we decided to call it the League of Exceptional Gentlemen, and it basically became a conversation amongst the OGs, if you will, the OGs of the group, because we had transitioned from being AHK, which is the asshole crew, and we wanted something more professional, because we were really considering getting the fraternity jackets with the LXG letters on it. Like, we were really thinking this far. We were thinking years into the future about this already. But we had come together. We established, everybody got nicknames. If you already had a nickname, you just brought that nickname over. So I've had the GQ moniker for a very long time. I've had it for a very long time, actually. Mike is up. We had Wild Child. Of course, we had the Iceman. We had Ace. Like, we've had Jew Fresh, which has many different names. It all just depends on
shout out Jew Fresh.
Depends on what your preference is, but we always wanted to do things together, shut parties down in a good way. So when we started going out, you knew when LXG was in the building. We was the loudest ones in there, but when any time, and I'm good at and Mike has said it already, I introduced everybody to like the country bar scene. And sometimes a lot of black people don't go to country bars. I said, listen, y'all don't understand what y'all missing going to these country bars. So we went to this spot called The Shoot. Shout out to The Shoot in Baytown.
Shout out
Thursday
to the
night. Thursday night,
there.
which is ladies' night. And then we also went to this other spot that we shut down called the Electric Cowboy. I say we because we were there on the very last night it was open.
We didn't even know.
We used to shut that bitch down. So when we go out, the whole point of it is to go out, have a good time, be safe. But it's the brothers going out, doing what brothers do. And now it's a league of men that are trying to be successful in this life. And whatever it is, it's not about trying to be like a millionaire, nothing crazy like that. It's just being successful, being comfortable, whatever your definition of comfortable is. And that's where we kind of are now in 2023. Still doing the damn thing. 13 years it is.
Yeah, we got a pretty good, well-rounded cast. Obviously, Jew Fresh is a big producer now. Big producer.
Big producer.
It's crazy. It's crazy to see where he started. You yourself, family man, military, coaching, personal coaching, me, supervisor. The list just goes on, and to be able to lean on the brotherhood like that it has to be one of the greatest things ever. So
100%.
Shout out to the LXG brothers.
Shout
so
out.
let's hit some rapid fire questions. Troy, you got any rapid fire questions?
Rapid fire?
Yeah.
Favorite snack as a kid?
Oatmeal pies.
I knew that one.
Favorite soda?
I don't drink soda.
Favorite juice? I don't drink juice. Favorite water?
Grape. But favorite water?
Favorite water.
Well, my favorite juice is actually grapefruit juice. Favorite water is actually anything alkaline.
Alkaline, okay. Favorite meat to eat?
Favorite meat to eat? Chicken. Got to be grilled chicken.
Not mad at that. Favorite go-to adult beverage. I can't even fucking speak.
Whiskey sour.
Mm. I
The
like that.
gentleman's
That's
cocktail
not
of choice.
bad.
It's a gentleman's cocktail of choice.
It is a
That's
gentleman's
not
cocktail of
bad.
choice.
When you go to the movie theaters, do you get the popcorn or do you get the hot dogs or the nachos?
Neither.
Popcorn or nacho?
Neither.
Neither?
None. I don't like hot
You
dogs
bring
at
your own
all.
snacks? That's why I said
No.
nachos. I switched it out for nachos.
The movie theaters I go to serve alcohol, so that's what I go into the movie.
Oh, he said, just give me,
Big
let me get
facts.
2 shots of Jack and we
Yeah,
good. I'm
like-
out of here.
that boy Moose said.
What's your favorite type of fish to eat?
He said favorite salmon is my favorite fish to eat.
I love
my
salmon. Let's go, baby.
favorite sandwich. I don't eat near as many sandwiches as I used to, but it would be
ham, egg, and cheese.
It would definitely be a patty melt.
Yup, it's a Texas thing.
Now, you know what my favorite sandwich is? It's a ham, sausage, egg, and cheese. That's my favorite. Don't judge me.
I'm not
No
gonna
judgment
judge
here.
you.
That shit is delicious.
I'm not gonna judge you. All right, so
yeah, I think that's it. Go ahead, DJ.
I got one for you. 2003 redraft. You're the GM. Who you taking number 1?
Oh, LeBron's still going.
Are you still going with LeBron number 1? You know,
Yeah,
you're a big D-Way guy. I thought you would
but
probably.
I don't want any part of that history being changed. That man goes into the Hall of Fame in 4 days. Counting down because I can't wait to listen to AI speech inducting D Wade into the Hall of Fame. So no, I don't want to change that draft order at all.
D Wade was to me what was Jordan was to LeBron.
D Wade is my Jordan. He is my Jordan. He is
I
my
know
Kobe.
He go
He's my
copy
LeBron.
Revis. I would do
like,
that shit, bro.
He is my D Wade is my basketball spirit animal. Like I modeled my basketball game off of him.
Yeah,
I've been watching. I watched him since he was at Marquette. Like I was like, this guy is dope because he was the smallest guy on the court, but he still looked like the best player on the floor. He dove for every loose ball. He was fearless driving to the basket. Dude is still by far, in my opinion, he had the best shot adjustment I've ever seen off of contact.
Yeah, I was a big contact player. Poor Piz. Go ahead, DJ.
He's on the phone, so that's why I was like, got to pause.
I only got one more question, but I want to see that one for your last question before we end the show.
Oh, okay, bet. I think I got 3 questions left, and I'll pass it off to you.
All right, word.
While we take this pause right now, do not forget tomorrow it is all about PVT.
Player versus team.
We got Zamora and Willie with the show. Y'all already know how this thing goes.
Shout out Willie.
We embrace the bias over here.
The bias.
We embrace the bias. And then, of course, Fridays, we got Inside the Huddle with GQ, Moo, and Mel.
Huddle.
Football season coming up. Those debates are starting to heat up.
And Spyro said if you don't go check him out, these horns going to be in your rear end.
And then, of course, on Monday, you can catch me and From the Sideline, Troy, of course, with Moo, basket to basket.
I had to go get blood taken today, guys.
Ooh. Oh, and Boo Wop. I'm sorry, Boo Wop.
Yeah, Boo Wop. Yeah, don't forget Boo Wop. Second-hand man over the right-hand man over there.
I think we should have our special guest from last week back in the building. If you missed this past episode, you might want to go check it out. Hey, goodbye. The look on your face from changing from a podcaster to a dad and back to a podcaster is flawless.
You got to, bro. You got to know how to multitask, bro. You gotta have the serious dad ready to go and then get back to business. That's all.
Oh man!
But yeah, don't forget to check out Zamara tomorrow. You know she's gonna have some bias. We don't know what she's talking about, but we know she's gonna have some good topics for you guys. Got to go check her out, man. She loves bringing you guys content and telling you how she feels about James Harden and his stripping addiction.
All right, that was the wife on the phone.
Oh, it's all good. We took some time to promote
real
quick.
She heard you talking about that first kiss?
No.
Oh,
it wouldn't have mattered. She would. That's something else about my.
She said
my wife.
Third grade. Who gives a fuck?
No, that's just something else to me that's amazing about my wife. She we don't give a shit about the past.
Oh, 100%. You can't.
Like I can put you. Here's how I know, because in her closet before we moved in together, this is like a funny ass. We were packing up clothes and I found a baseball jersey, and on the baseball jersey it said "Ho," and the number on the back was 24/7.
Wow.
That was one of the funny. That's another one of them things. So like me and my wife are like literally, we are two hoes who stopped hoeing to be together.
I never
Like-
was a host, so
Oh no! Oh shit!
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I was pushing
Told
it
you.
away. Like I was a running back, stiff arming
No.
everybody. Back
Listen,
up. Back
when
up.
I
Hey, tell him, Jerm,
no.
check the passport stamp.
I'm trying to
You
tell you,
feel
boy.
me?
The passport is
Nah.
nice around here.
I
Like
know the
said,
passport nice.
when I tell you I got
I
stories,
ain't
I
trying to
got
be a passport bro though.
boy. I got stories upon stories, and
All
Vegas
right.
still might be the most
The only way I'm
legendary
going
story.
is the only way I'm going is the Philippines, man. Going
I
right
got
to,
You going-
right to
I
an
got a
Asian
couple of more
country.
questions for you.
All right, let's get it.
Some rapid questions for you. Favorite place you got stationed in the military?
Ireland.
Ireland. Oh, man. That's a
My
dream
boy
right
got
there.
stationed in Hawaii, and I got another boy who's out in Hawaii stationed out there right now.
Okay. Favorite football coach? This should be an easy one.
Bill Belichick.
Ew.
Favorite basketball coach?
Pat Riley.
You go into the court, you can take two people from the I was about to say LXG family. Lord Jesus, from the sideline family. Who you taking?
I'm taking my partner in crime, DJ Micah B, because I don't have to talk to him. He knows where he's going to be at on the court at all times, and it's easy. And given all these athletic conversations we've been having with all of our people, I'd have to grab Mulich too.
Ooh. Troy is still left undrafted. Man.
Listen, but Troy ain't gonna get Troy not taking it personal because his back is out of commission. But if I was still balling right now, y'all niggas pass me up, I would be on a plane right now, flying to Texas to cross his ankles up while he putting his baby to sleep. You feel me?
I feel like
Oh,
That's how we
man.
end up down here. Justin did it. Justin did it. Nah,
I
but
actually gonna
Mulich is
sit-
athletic, so I'm not mad at that.
I'm actually gonna steal this one from all the smoke because it's one of my favorite questions I hear. So it could be you and 5 dinner guests. Who would you want, dead or alive?
5 dinner guests.
Yep.
That's actually not a difficult question for me. It would be Will Smith. It would be Denzel Washington. It would be Barack Obama. It would be Jamie Foxx, and it would be Jay-Z.
All right. Favorite
So you
R&B
still
singer?
leaving Will Smith there, even with the smack?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he there?
So
is he there even? Does he get a bigger chair because of the smack?
no,
Or are you shrinking his chair a little bit, just a little bit,
he's the same
right
size as
around
everybody
the
else.
waist? All right.
So, a backstory about me: a lot of my personality came from Will Smith. A lot of it. A lot of my personality came from him because that was one of my favorite people to watch growing up. Whether it was on whatever movie he was in or whether it was from The Fresh Prince, like there was something I always was able to take from him and model it for myself. 100%. I don't know why I was so gravitated towards him like that, but I am still to this day like I don't fault what he did. I don't like the way he went about it but at the same time my thing is like this. As a husband, you do what you must to protect your wife. National TV or not. I understand, yes, that was a joke and it was a comedic thing, whatever the case might be, but I'm like, I don't know.
That was The Rock.
He still
He
probably
ain't
would have got slapped.
slapping him. He ain't
Oh,
slapping him.
Shit.
You slapping him, GQ. You.
Yeah,
You are.
100%.
Will Smith ain't slapping him. If that was 50 Cent, Will Smith ain't slapping him. Bro.
Favorite
We know
R&B
who to
singer?
slap and we know who not to slap, bro.
Said
That's
my-
why the
said-
niggas you see that get slapped on national TV is the ones you can slap.
Shut up.
I'm telling you the truth. What do you see get slapped on national TV that the dude that slapped him didn't get no consequences? Like physical consequences.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm from
All
the
right.
hood, so that's the only way I'm gonna think. That's what I'm telling you. And
That's
Chris
true.
Rock's brothers wanted Will Smith, and Chris Rock said, nah.
Will might slap
chill.
50.
Nah, he ain't slapping 50. You crazy. 50 a real gangster in New York. He ain't slapping 50. Yeah, y'all better stop sleeping on 50. 50 would have that dude disappear with all his movies. We would have never had a Hancock, a Pursuit of Happiness. Nobody will ever remember him like what's that movie name? I can't remember it. With Sinbad. Well, that movie don't exist no more, so
Here we go.
You talking
it does,
about?
but it doesn't.
You talking about? Because is it Kazam?
Yeah, Kazam. It don't exist no more.
The Rock and Album, maybe 50. Okay.
The
Yeah,
Rock-
favorite
nah,
R.
No,
favorite
50,
R&B
he
singer.
not smacking with me.
Favorite R&B singer.
I mean, I know the
Yeah.
answer, but you know.
Nah, for me, it was growing up for sure. It was genuine.
That
Yeah.
pony.
Like it just was somebody else I adopted into my personality style.
I could deal with that. Troy, what was the question you had?
So my last and final question, I say this for last because I think this might be, if you're gonna end the show, it might be a good way to end the show.
We
What is one of the greatest lessons? I'm not sure if you grew up with your mother and father, but I hear you talk about your mom a lot. What is one of the greatest lessons you take away from your parents or your mom?
Greatest lessons that I learned from: always take care of the ones that take care of you.
See, I knew that would be a good way to end the show. We out of here.
Good.
Because I knew you was going to say something like that. That's why I said, nah, I'm
Something
leaving
good.
that question for last because I know if I could get
That's
off,
a good question.
you're going to say something good. That's a good answer, bro. I like that. I like that.
Well,
that's a good lesson.
I think this concludes it. We didn't really dive too deep, but we're gonna run a part 2 of From the Sideline Chronicles to everybody soon, and we're gonna dive even deeper
when we do the round table.
Yeah, the round table is definitely gonna be where it's at.
It's gonna be wild, bro. You ain't gonna miss it.
Oh, this is different because I'm on the other side. Troy, any final thoughts?
Oh yeah, thank you guys for having me. I enjoyed it. I got to learn a little bit about GQ. Even though me and GQ, we mesh. You guys don't see this, on camera as much because we're not on the same show. But me and GQ are one and the same behind the cameras. We think alike. We want the same thing. So I can just appreciate you guys, and I want you guys to know that. My final.
GQ?
It was fun. It was fun being on the other side. Like I didn't have to and the funny thing is, which I always think, like a lot of people who just started tuning in Gentleman's Talk don't truly understand. Most of our shows, there is no script.
None.
Like there just isn't. These are these are organic conversations. Call it what
Love
it
you
is.
too, Mulich.
They are grown. They are grown through the questions, and one question leads to another question, and that is how we get by. So you're getting literally live content, like live reactions, everything. So keep tuning in, man. It only gets better because next week I get to come back to that chair, and we're gonna get to interview DJ Michael B. And the world is gonna learn about Mr. Carib American.
Mr.
Yep.
There's a lot. There's a lot going on in that story. So it's gonna be a grand old time.
There's a lot going on in my story, I guess. Final thoughts from me. Appreciate y'all tuning in every week. Keep tuning in. Make sure you like, share, follow, subscribe. Of course, tune in to Player versus Teams tomorrow. And in the words of my boy GQ, we out.
We out.